You as the business owner live at the intersection of the value of the business, your personal wealth, taxes, risk, exit timing, all of those things. And yet oftentimes the advice that you might be getting is fractured or given in different fragments that make it difficult to have a clear picture of what needs to happen now and in the future.
Most attorneys or CPAs will tell you what you can't do. The right attorney, the right tax planner, right tax attorney will tell you, here's what I want to achieve. I want to sell this and not pay much in taxes. Tell me how I do that, right?
Having that team in place helps you have clarity, purpose, direction, understanding of what's going on. Hey there, entrepreneur, and welcome back to the Scale to Sell podcast, the business owners podcast where we help you build transferable value, create freedom, and exit on your terms. This is episode number 57, The Family Office Mindset, How Elite Business Owners Think Beyond the Business. So, Steve, today we're talking about a topic that is near and dear to both of our hearts. And that's really comes down to the point that most business owners don't lack advisors. What they lack is alignment among their advisors. Everyone is kind of technically doing their jobs, the lawyers, the CPAs, maybe if you're to the point of wanting to sell the business, M&A experts. But most often, what we see is no one owns the whole picture. No one really knows what's going on completely. They're all kind of doing their own separate jobs, and they aren't really working in sync with one another. And the point that we're talking about today is that you can have great advisors, but still end up making terrible decisions as a business owner if no one is coordinating the overall strategy.
Yeah, you need to have a quarterback, so to speak, somebody that's, running lead on all these people, making sure that they take out their own agendas. If you have a CPA and you're one of their most successful clients and you sell the business, they're going to lose you as a client, and maybe they pick up the new company, but more than likely they will not. So they have an agenda. So is their agenda in your best interest or not? And so, and that's a big thing. Or if you do successfully sell, are they the right CPA firm to help you mitigate those taxes? Save you $500,000, million, $10 million, $20 million or more in taxes. And so most CPAs don't do that. So you got to have the right team. I'm not saying fire your CPA. I'm just saying have the right team and making sure everybody's on the same page, working for your best interest as a fiduciary, right? And everybody takes their own agenda, their own profit center out of it, and make sure we're doing the right thing for the owner.
Absolutely. So you've got the CPA optimizing in taxes and doing their own thing in isolation.
Or tax attorneys in this case.
Yeah, whatever the case may be.
Yep.
Even the attorney that's, just doing the normal work of the business. But if they don't have the insight of the financial advisor or what's going on with the personal side of what you're trying to achieve, of how you're scaling with the end in mind, the business owner ends up getting stuck in the middle of different advice that's kind of been siloed out and works for each individual thing, but isn't working in connection with what you're trying to achieve and what your needs are going forward.
My corporate attorney has done our corporate work for years, decades even. If we go to sell, that probably will not be the attorney I want to have drafted documents, to sell documents to sell that. So I'm not saying fire them. I'm saying you have to make sure that you have the right people, the right experts at this point in time. And again, everybody's working in the same direction.
Siloed advice. So, everyone just working in their own lane without the synchronicity of
correct
understanding what everyone else is doing and what the overall goals are is dangerous, because you as the business owner live at the intersection of the value of the business, your personal wealth, taxes, risk, exit timing, all of those things. And yet oftentimes the advice that you might be getting is fractured or given in different fragments that make it difficult to have a clear picture of what needs to happen now and in the future. And it's important to have all of your advisors rowing in the same direction. Steve did not know that I was going to throw this story into there, but you'll very well remember.
I just had a flashback.
You'll know where this is going. So we were on a trip to Puerto Rico, Mom, Dad, and myself. And we were doing a little excursion in a bioluminescent bay. And we were in these clear canoes or kayaks or whatever they were. And they were in one, and I was just solo.
It's like 9 o'clock at night
by myself.
Dark as heck, right?
So you're in there, and it's really cool because it lights up as you move through the water because of the bioluminescent things
Plankton
that are
or
in
whatever
there.
it
Yeah.
was.
Soak up the sun during the day, and then at night as you move it, whatever. It was awesome. What was less than awesome for Steve and Annette was they were not so good at rowing together at the same time and in the same direction. So I'm off like exploring and doing all the things and having a great time looking around. They're exploring in circles. They're not getting anywhere close to what we were trying to do.
Doing a whole lot of zigzagging.
But that was the key, right? They weren't rowing in the same direction at the same speed. And so things were not going the way that it had planned. Well, the same thing's true if you don't have that family office kind of mindset where you have everyone working together, understanding what the goals are, everyone having the information that they need in order to make those types of decisions and really give the types of advice that you as the business owner need. You could be stranded out in the middle of a bay in the middle of the night, not going where you're wanting to go. In
this case, instead of just sweat, it might cost you money, lots of money. The family office, we've described that in the past, but the family office, that detail of what wealthy people do to have different experts. I have more than one doctor. I have more than, if you go in to see your dentist but need to get an implant, it may not be the one that does the implant. It may be somebody else. So you have different specialists on your team at different points in time. Again, I've seen CPAs that have done a great job of taking care of the business, but when you go to, unless they can know how to greatly reduce capital gains, that may not be my CPA if I take it to close and I can write my check for whatever, $500,000, $3 million, $10 million, or I can go to a specialist. But your family office, having these team of advisors, to your point right there, all working in the same direction. It may be a new attorney that you only use for one, just the close of the business, right? And so, but the family office concept, it's special.
And having that perspective of knowing, having people like us who have been there to know, okay, this is the time that we need to look at bringing in experts for this particular function. And these are the people that are a part of your core team that are going to be there now as you're still growing, as you go through the transition process, and even into, the next chapter of your life where you've got your personal financial needs and ongoing legacy that you're building and wanting to protect. All of those things are there. But the cost of not doing that, the cost of not operating under this kind of family office mindset is huge, because you could end up overpaying in taxes big time in a number of different ways, both now and when it comes to your estate down the road. You could be taking risk that you don't realize that you're taking or understanding, building a business that is hard to sell because you didn't have the right types of people there to help guide you along what building a transferable business really looks like when it comes to that value. Exiting without an income or a purpose plan in place, that one's huge. Most people miss, if they get the financial aspect and sometimes, the business growth and exiting on top with a highly valuable business, they often miss the personal side of the planning and understanding what life looks like outside of the business and how you use the business as an asset to accomplish it. And then missing out on freedom and opportunities because you didn't have a clear plan while you still own the business and then going forward. Again, having that team in place helps you have clarity, purpose, direction, understanding of what's going on.
Business, I was thinking about, our tax team has fractional CFOs. You may not be to the point where your company needs a CFO or you're the CFO, but having somebody that's operated with other businesses, bringing somebody in as part of your family office team, even on a quarterly basis, to make it set advice where you're not employing them full time, but that's part of your team, right? They're there to help you grow the business, make it more profitable, have a better quality of life. And if you do exit, because you got better numbers, you get to sell it for a better, that's part of your team. There's all kinds of people that you can ladder in. Some are occasional uses, maybe a one-time use of your family office, but that's one side. The other thing is you might have to I find that most business owners, because they put most of their time and effort in building their business. Like a guy recently in a business worth well over $10 million, and he has $500,000 in other investments. So what's his largest investment? It's the business. Well, he's his own advisor up until now, but he needs strategies. He needs income strategies. So even if you have a great financial advisor that's helped you accumulate assets outside of the business, are they a retirement income specialist? Yeah. That may take a separate financial advisor or a new financial advisor if your person is not focused on income solutions.
Well, I think about the phrase that we've used often about outgrowing. And oftentimes we're using it in the context of the CPA, but it applies beyond that. And sometimes the advice that you've gotten, I think of the example we've given before, and I think we've shared it on the podcast, of the person who had a piece of real estate as a part of their portfolio of things and wanted to get rid of it, but the CPA kept telling them for years and years, decades even, that no, you just need to hang on to it, pass off to the kids, step up in basis. That's how to handle the tax situation.
That was their answer.
Yeah. Instead of looking at, okay, what are the other opportunities and solutions to the tax challenge that would enable you to be able to get rid of the real estate that you were wanting to get rid of and still mitigate the taxes, right? There's a point at which you may have outgrown someone in that particular role or for that particular time period that, again, having the team of people that knows what they're doing and understands what your goals are, you're in a better position to be able to get the kind of advice you need and not miss out because you just have a blind spot to what your real options actually are. The business owner just thought, oh, I guess that's what I have to do, until he was confronted with the opportunity that, no, there are actually alternatives that would actually help you achieve what you're wanting to and help with the tax issue.
What I found, I read somebody place recently that, most attorneys or CPAs will tell you what you can't do. The right attorney, the right tax planner, right tax attorney will tell you, here's what I want to achieve. I want to sell this and not pay much in taxes. Tell me how I do that, right? And so if your person's it's not that they're a bad person. You might even develop a strong relationship with them. You play golf with them a time or two a month. But that doesn't mean if they're costing you hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, I can be a little bit less friendly with them for a little bit of time, or use these other people just on this rare occasion to help mitigate this one issue I'm trying to deal with.
Well, it's almost like dealing with the issue of having blind spots. Just because you don't know what is possible and you're not being presented with the full range of options. It's hard to make an informed decision if that's the case, right? So just at a non-business related story, right? So before Thanksgiving, I'm driving home and on the toll road in my lane driving, and the person in the lane next to me decides he wants to cut over in front of me. Yeah. He wanted to share the same spot that I already occupied. He didn't see me, right? I was in the blind spot based on where he was. He didn't look, just kind of quickly jumped over and ran into my vehicle. But the point being, like, you don't know what you don't know sometimes. And it's hard to make an informed decision if you don't have all of the facts together and if you don't know what the different options are, because you aren't being presented with those things. And so having a team of people that can speak to both understanding your goals and the means at which to achieve them is a game changer, because it allows you to make an informed decision. I
had people say all the time, well, I've got a CPA. I remember one business owner recently, when I started talking to him about tax planning 9 months ago, he goes, well, I've got the same CPA firm for 40 years. When I called him back about saving him significant amount of money on his taxes, and I kept talking and talking and talking, all of a sudden he goes, you had me at, you can save me some money in taxes. Now he's not as in love with the CPA firm. And I'm saying, you don't have to fire those guys. Just in this one strategy, are right, and so having your family office there, they may be your family office going, and as to Adam's point, you may have outgrown your current people, and we found that in our own situation as well. In many cases, whether it's taxes, financial planning, you're selling your business. Our M&A guy, the Jeff Snell that sells businesses, that's done podcasts with us before, he's in the M&A Hall of Fame. I'm not saying he's the best one. I'm just saying he's in the Hall of Fame. I've seen so many deals fall apart because people tried to do it themselves. All right, that's one. That's not a good thing. And then in some cases, they found somebody on the internet that's a business broker, and they may be great people, but what's their track record? I want to have the right people because these are important decisions, and in many cases, make up the bulk of your net worth. And we want to make sure whether it's growing or whether it's exiting, you do it and you have the right team for your situation.
Oh yeah, life-changing decisions, life-changing impact, not just on the amount of money that you get, does the deal go through, but even the frustration of working with the wrong type of people. Yeah, that's never fun. The whole purpose of the family office mindset and the family office model that we use here at Scale to Sell, it's about having that central strategy that gives you clarity. It's not just about adding more people for the sake of adding them, but using a strategic approach to accomplish the goals that you have for your life and business. A lot of times you'll get one side or the other, but this really is about an integrated system of growth and asset management.
We talked a little bit on the last show about, all the companies that are going to be selling over the next 10 years.
Yep.
So maybe you're not looking to exit your business. You're looking to grow. My point is, I've acquired companies before when I was younger and didn't have the right people in place and made mistakes that cost me, right? Having the right people in the right place. If you go to acquire a company, all of a sudden a quality M&A expert like Jeff Snell goes, hey, there's something wrong there, right? And keeps you thought it was a great deal, and all of a sudden there's a red flag, and you back away and find out later on that it was nothing like it was, and you would have moved ahead if not and made a major mistake. Having a team to keep you from making mistakes. I used to think that having qualified tax people and attorneys was just an expense. No, it's an investment. It's a major investment that will use their experience in the right situation to mitigate costs and enhance your opportunity, whether that's exiting or whether it's through growing through acquisitions.
This is why Scale to Sell exists, right? We're the one-stop shop to help you grow and exit your business, bringing the right people together to help you achieve the goals that you have for your life and
anywhere
business.
In the country.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We want to ensure that your team of advisors and people that are coming alongside your business are all rowing in the right direction. No more spinning in circles, no more creating things or going about things that are keeping you from your goals.
Even if it's not using our team, just to make you aware, as we are today, and we have on the other, just making you aware of what to, hey,
what it should look like.
No doubt. And so you don't make a major mistake or you don't leave truckloads of money on the table.
See the full picture. Align decisions across your business and your personal life, and design your growth and your exit intentionally. That's the goal, and that's what having a team of advisors that understands what is going on, that understands what the goals are, and how each of the different aspects are working together to accomplish those across all the different departments and divisions there. That's what that is supposed to look like.
What's your family office? You need to have some experts on your team, and sometimes those experts aren't the current ones that you're associated with, but I would say you need, especially if your business is growing and successful, and again, you're looking for that exit, that off-ramp. And anyway, but the family office concept, you need to have the right team in place. And that's not, sometimes you've outgrown the people like we have done personally.
So whether you are looking for a team of advisors to replace yourself, being your solo advisor, or you just want a second opinion, you have questions and you want to make sure that you're getting the right kinds of information to make those informed decisions intentionally, great. We'd love to be able to talk with you. That's what Scale to Sell is here to do to help you as a business owner grow and exit your business successfully on your terms. So you can go to scaletosell.com/assessment. Just answer a few questions about your business, get some clarity about where you're at and what you're looking to achieve. And at the same time, understand the value of your business and connect with our team to see how we can help you do just that and have that family office model mindset going forward, no matter what stage of the business you're at and no matter what your next chapter looks like. Until next time, keep scaling.